In this tutorial we're going to be talking about the audio focus and why you should use it for your media applications such as music players and video player applications. Welcome to Mobile Application Tutorials. My name's Nigel. This tutorial is a continuation of the MediaStore Viewer tutorial, where in the previous tutorial we set up playing videos using the media player. Right, in this tutorial we're going to talk about audio focus and why you need to use it. So basically, as the application stands now, it works independent of the Android ecosystem, such as if there's notifications or calls coming through, our application is going to be oblivious to all of that, especially in regards to audio. So what we want to do is we want to hook our application into the Android audio framework, so to say, so we can be notified if outside events that affect audio are happening. Think of it as we're watching a video but a phone call comes in. You don't want your video playing at full volume while a call's coming through or a notification's also coming through. You want to act on that and either pause your video, or if you're in a media player you might want to just lower the volume. And we're also going to talk about one other thing, is what happens if you're listening to headphones and the headphone jack pops out and the application's then playing full volume and you're in a library. So we want to handle that use case as well. Okay, so we'll make a start. So the first thing we want to do is hook ourselves, set up the audio focus so we can get notified of other applications that also use audio or notifications coming through. Okay, so we'll make a start now. First thing we want to do is to add the AudioManager. It's called AudioManager. Set up a member for that. Okay, while I've created the AudioManager, I want to set up a listener to be notified of audio focus change events. So we're just going to append the listener up into our main activity. And the listener belongs inside the AudioManager, and it's called On Audio Focus Change Listener. And we have to implement the method for this listener. Select OK for that. Okay, while we're here, let's implement this method here, complete implementing this. Okay, int I doesn't really mean a lot, so let's try and give this a bit more substance. Okay, we'll just call it audio. I'll just call audio focus changed. I'm just going to put a switch statement here. Put inside the audio focus changed. And we just want to monitor several cases that may happen. So let's set the first case, AudioManager. So I just want to look for audio focus loss. Let's go for loss transient here. So this is like a temporary loss. Think of it as if an alarm's coming through or something like that. The loss is only expected. The other application said, look, I only need the audio focus for a short period of time, such as an alarm. So what we're going to do here is just stop playing where the other event happens. This is for the playing videos. So you might want to think what you want to do. You can also, audio applications might just want to dim the volume if it's streaming music. But in this case, we're going to just pause the playing of the video. So we already have a method for that from the previous tutorial. complete that. And let's just check the next one. And I want audio gain. So audio gain is when our application's got permission or it's resuming doing what it was before, so it might have been paused and it's come back in, and so we'll just do media play for that. And the last one is if we basically another application takes over the audio focus for a extended amount of time, and again we're going to just pause the video in this case. And it'll be audio focus. And it'll be audio focus loss, and again we're just going to pause that video. Okay, so if you're doing your application, you might want to sort of take a bit of time on how you behave. You might even want to set up a menu where the user can decide they either want to pause or lower the volume or whatever. But in this case, if we do lose the audio focus for any amount of time, short or long, we're just going to pause the video. Okay, now let's go up here and actually set up our AudioManager. Since we're inside the onCreate function here. Okay, we need to cast that. And it will be get system service and then pass in the name of the service we want, which lives inside the context, audio service. And that will set up our AudioManager. Okay, the next step we want to make here is to actually make a request for the audio focus. So we're basically going to Android system, please, I want to actually play a video. I need to have audio, please grant it to me. And we make this request at the same time we want to play the video. So when we want to play the video, we've got a method for that, media play. So we'll make the request here. And let's call it request audio focus results. This is going to return a result whether or not we have gained the permission to use the audio. We call out AudioManager object and request audio focus here. And it's going to take several members here. One's going to be the on-focus change listener that we've just been working on. One's going to be a stream type. If we're playing video, it's a bit like playing music, so we're going to set up there. And duration hint is, if we're playing video, it's going to be for extended duration. So first of all, put this for the on-focus change listener. Stream type will be AudioManager stream music. And hint duration is audio focus gain, which is basically I want to play for an extended amount of time. This application could be playing long videos. Okay, now let's check to see if we've gained the audio focus. Let's call our result. And so if audio focus request has been granted, we can go ahead and play the video. Okay, so basically once we stop the video, we want to release or abandon the audio focus. So again, when we stop the video, it's going to happen in media pause. So it's just actually I might put it at the bottom here. So we call our AudioManager object, and it's abandon audio focus and pass in the on-change listener. There we go. And those should be all the changes you need, so we're hooked into the Android audio framework system to be notified of what other applications are going to be doing with the audio as well. So it allows us to play nicely with the other applications using audio. Okay, just one other thing here. If you're using headphones and the headphones pop open, the music can go really noisy, and if you're in a library or in a meeting room or anything else, or on a call, you don't want suddenly this music playing loudly. So what we're going to do for our media player, we're going to pause the media player in case you're listening on headphones and the jack pops out. Okay, so what we need to do is to set up our broadcast receiver to listen in case it becomes noisy. So there's an action audio noisy flag that we're going to look for that will tell us that, something's happened, suddenly your device is becoming noisy. So the first thing we're going to do is to set up a broadcast receiver. It's going to be a class. Cool. And I'll call it audio becoming noisy. We're going to extend from a broadcast receiver, and we're going to implement one of the methods in this class, override actually, and it's going to be on receive. And again, if we lose our headphones, I'm just going to want to pause it in this case. You could lower the volume, but I just want to pause it. So it's this media pause. Stop playing because something's gone wrong, and so you're watching a video, you just want to pause it to allow the user to put the headphones back in, or handle that, basically what's an accident. Okay, we also are going to set up an intent filter so we can specify the right action to get notified of. So it's intent filter, and I'll call it, let's call it noisy intent filter. And we're also going to want to create a member for our broadcast receiver. And it's an audio becoming noisy. And I'll just call it audio becoming noisy. Okay, now we want to set up both our intent filter and our broadcast receiver members. We'll do that again in the onCreate. And we'll set up our intent filter as well. And inside here, we're going to feed in that action for becoming noisy. And that's provided to us by the AudioManager. And it's called action becoming audio becoming noisy for us to listen to. Okay, the next step here is just to register our broadcast receiver. And we're going to do that when we want to start playing. We're going to register in case it becomes noisy. So we'll go back down to the media play here, and yeah, we can just register here. Register receiver, and it's pass in our broadcast receiver, and we also want to pass in our filter, which is noisy intent filter. Okay, once we've stopped playing, we can release the broadcast receiver. So let's unregister, and this is the name of the broadcast receiver. And that's it. Okay, so what I want to do here is now start playing this in application. I also want to check for the audio becoming noisy and just briefly talk through of how we set up the audio focus. So we'll put a breakpoint here for when we register it, the media pause, and let's set one up inside our broadcast receiver. What I'll probably do is play a short video and then pull out the speaker jack. And yep, that should be it. Okay, application's now started. Notice I've got the jack on the headphone there. So, right, I've already had a breakpoint here. Let's talk about what's happening. So the first part of it here is we're registering our broadcast receiver in case it becomes noisy, i.e. the headphone jack is removed from the device. So we want to listen to that. Next, we're making a request for audio focus here with the appropriate members we talked about before. Now we're checking to see if that's been granted. It has been granted, so we're about to start media playing. Let's continue on. Okay, now I'm going to pull this out. Oh, it's gone noisy. But as you notice that we're now in the on receive. So if I continue on, yes, now we can pause the video, and all this would happen in processor real time in milliseconds or even faster, so you wouldn't notice that, but we slightly delayed because we're in the debugger. So we're pausing it, and yeah, so basically we're going to change the image resource, and we're also going to abandon our audio focus, so we're telling other applications can now access it if they need to, and we'll just continue on. Okay, so that completes this tutorial. Hopefully you've now got an understanding that it's quite important to implement the audio focus so you're in sync with what's happening in the Android ecosystem, what other applications are doing with audio, and how you want to respond and cooperate nicely with everything else in the Android system. You don't want to be independent, especially in audio, because it's not going to give the user a very nice experience. It's going to get rather annoyed quite quickly. And we also set up becoming noisy as well. In case an accident happens, headphone jack's removed, we wanted to respond to that. And in this case, we just pause the video. Nothing's worse if the headphone jack comes out and you're in the library or you're in a conference call with all your senior management leadership team, and you know the headphone jack comes out and suddenly they hear loud music. So we're containing that use case as well. So if you want to get notified, I've still got one more tutorial on this series. So if you want to get notified of the episodes on this series or any of the other tutorials that I'm working on, don't forget to click on that subscribe button down below. It is a clickable link. And surrounding me is my social media links. To my right are my social media links, so you can click on any of those now so you can stay up to date with all the news and developments of mobile application tutorials. Straight above me is a link to my website. It's a good place to watch these videos. Not only do you get the video itself, you've got explanations of what's happening as well as a guide of how to get the source code. And I'm just way too busy to respond to your tens of thousands of questions in my inbox now. I can't even read them. So if you really do need help from me, I do provide a service where I do speak to you and support you. It's a consultancy service, it's a paid service, but if you really need to get hold of me, you can go to Code Mentor and I will free up some of my time to help you out. Anyway, that concludes this tutorial. Thank you for taking the time for watching, and bye for now.